This effect is not just absolutely amazing, it's quite simple to do too actually. I'm going to show you how in just a few minutes, and we are going to split it into two parts. The first part is the hologram and the second part is the teleportation to another place. I have both the animation and the object clips ready, so if you don't have any clips you can go down to the description and download these object and animation clips. This way you will have no excuse to skip this amazing tutorial, so let's go. Okay, so to start, first we need to find the place where we are touching the object because we want to match the animation with our movements. So just go a few frames, and when you see the sliding begin, just make this clip to start right here. Then cut the end of the clip and drag it to the first video track because we want to keep the location clip after the teleportation separate. Just open the inspector and make it bigger so it fits in the whole screen. Okay, now create a fusion clip out of these two clips and go to the fusion page. In the fusion page, find the media in node, the second one, and click shift space and add brightness contrast node. Using this, we're going to make our hologram to look like a hologram. So select alpha and then just play with the gain option to make the image a bit less bright and a bit more transparent. When you're happy with what you have, add another node called DVE, and with this node we can change the location of the hologram and we can play with these values to make it turn in different directions, to look up and down, and make it look a bit more futuristic. Next, we're going to add some glowing using a shadow node. Select the color and choose, I recommend choosing some kind of shade of this color here because it looks very close to the hologram we typically see in the movies. Then using the softness tool, adjust to make the borders glow. And we're going to add an actual glowing node called soft glow. And just play with the gain option to make it look like it's glowing a little bit, but gently, don't overdo it. And just like this, we have a fully working hologram. One minor thing though is to add a planar tracker to make sure that the image, well, the hologram is not hanging in the air when the object is moving in the video. So using planar tracker, just draw a little shape on your object like this. Then set the tracking frame, change motion type to translation, and track your video all the way to the end. I didn't close the tracker. There we go. So now track your video all the way to the end and all the way to the start. When tracking is done, click to create a planar transform. And then add this planar transform node to the hologram by holding shift and putting it between these arrows. And you can delete the planar tracker node if you want to. So now the hologram should follow the movements of the object. As you can see, it is tracking them and moving together with the object. So the first part is done, and our next step is to create the teleportation from the location that we're in to the location that we're seeing in the hologram. Minor adjustment is to find where the swipe up happens in this part of the clip. So again, just play with your frames, and when you see the swipe up happening, this is the place where we want to start the actual animation. So I'm going to add a keyframe, sorry, not keyframe, a marker, and from this point where the swipe starts, go a few frames further. So the swipe animation is done. Let's say here, or maybe here, and then drag the animation clip over the end of the object clip, like this. Mark two clips, create a new fusion clip, and go to the fusion page. Now, in the fusion page, we want to find the exact part where the clips change. It's right here. And add a new node called transform. Then at the very last frame before the clips change, so right here, add a keyframe to the size and to center values. Go back a few frames where the swipe up happens. You can do this with the marker too if you want. Like this. Add the keyframes here. And then at those keyframes before the clip changes, increase the size to make the hologram take up the whole space of the screen. So just zoom all the way in and play with the center values if you want to. And you can zoom in a bit more by changing the value of this. When you're happy with the hologram side, go to the next clip just by going to the next frame and add new keyframes here. And then try changing these values to make it match the looks of the clip that was shown previously. So just play with the values, the size especially, and try to align them so they look similar. This way we can make the change look very small and barely even noticeable. As you can see, I'm going back between the hologram and the location frames, and they look very similar. So try to, or just copy these sizes if you're doing the very same thing with the very same clips. But in general, just try to make them look alike. Okay, and then quite a few frames further, we want to add another keyframe to the size and the center values and set them back to default, because we want to make the effect slowly zoom out after we change the locations. So now the effect looks like this. We zoom in and change the location. Now we're going to add a bit more effect to make this look even cooler. So the first effect is called zoom blur. We will want to make the zoom to start of the transformation node, so go there and add a keyframe and set the zoom amount to 0. Then go to the place where we zoom in and change the location. You can go a bit further, like here. And in the zoom blur, set another keyframe and set a zoom amount to 1, to the maximum. Then move a bit further, add another keyframe and set the zoom amount back to 0. So this way we zoom in with the effect and then the effect fades away. I actually don't really like how the zoom starts pretty late, so I'm going to change the keyframe to start or to be at the very top earlier, and then I'm going to set this one to 0 and remove the last one. So now with the zoom effect, the final result should look something like this. Now the next step and the next effect is going to be camera shake. We want to make the clip shake a bit before teleporting us to the new location, so just add a node called camera shake. Then find the place before transform and set a keyframe to the camera shake, overall strength, and set it to 0. Go to zoom blur and find a keyframe where your zoom blur reaches the maximum amount of the zoom. Go back to the camera shake, set a keyframe and set the overall strength to back to 1. Then again go to the zoom, find the last keyframe and set the camera shake back to 0 again. Now as you can see, right before zooming in it shakes a bit and we are sucked into our new location in the mountains. The only problem is that the camera shake can leave a bit of empty spaces while shaking. And to fix those, you will want to go to the inspector and just increase the size of your clip a little bit. And now for the very last effect, we're going to make a little ripple effect while we're being dragged into the portal. So just add a new node, it's called displace, and add another node called fast noise. Then make the fast noise to go to the displace, and if you added this accidentally like I did, just delete it and do this. Now go to the zoom blur and set the same keyframes for the displace on the refraction strength. So one node here, then another here, and the last one a little bit further, because we will want to make a little fade out effect. And do the very same with the fast noise scale option. Okay, so with the displays, go to the part where it's the highest, and then using the refraction strength we can make this clip to create a little ripple or watery effect. I'm just going to set it to the highest value and maybe a bit more. That's a bit too much, so let's go with 3. maybe 2.5 will be the best option after all, like this. And using the fast noise, we can play with scale. Don't make it too big because it's, well, looks like a broken clip. Something like this should be good. And as you can see, if I go frame by frame, when the portal effect starts, you can see already curved lines right here. When we are being dragged out, the lines curve more and more until we reach this point, and then it all fades out and we are in a new location like this. So let's see how the end result looks. And it seems pretty clean to me. So I really hope you liked this. If you want more, go and check out this video to make your other videos look as smooth as possible, and drop me a sub for more. Bye.